Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We didn't decide to do this video until the last second because we ended up getting a plane switch to an A321neo vice the original A330 that we were on, and we'd just done a video of that, but I thought I'd show you guys what their other platform looks, a more newer platform on Cathay Pacific. We also visited the Bridge Lounge this time after our 15-hour flight from Boston, and we wanted to show you that since in the previous video we showed you the pier. So they're both outstanding lounges. I highly recommend either one of them, whichever one's closer to your gate. So sit back and enjoy, please.
Welcome to Voyager Smith. In 2024, my wife and I sold our house and all of our belongings and left for Thailand from the United States with our 2 Labrador Retrievers. Join us as we review all of our travel and talk about our experiences living abroad. And if you find this information useful, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Now enjoy the video.
So the Bridge is one of 5 different Cathay Pacific lounges here in Hong Kong Airport. They have a Cathay Pacific Business Class Pier Lounge, but they also have a Cathay Pacific First Class Lounge. Then they have the Bridge Lounge, which we're showing to you right now, and the deck also. Now, keep in mind, our flight landed at just after 5 in the morning. So by the time we got to the transfer desk and got through, it was maybe 10 to 6. And look how crowded this lounge is at 10 to 6 in the morning. It was frankly kind of mind-blowing, but it's a spacious lounge. You know, we didn't have any problems finding a place to sit. The gal on the left there is who you go see to sign up for a shower. My wife and I each signed up for a shower, and it was about, I'd say, 20 to 25 minute wait. There was like 12 people ahead of us each time. We took turns because we had a 4-hour layover, so we had plenty of time. So I let my wife go first, and then I went second, and we each babysat each other's bags. So the showers are very nice. I have to say they're a little bit bigger than the ones at the pier. Everybody raves about the Pier Lounge, and they say it's the better of the 2 lounges. I mean, it's bigger, but I think that this lounge is perfectly fine. But the showers are a little bit bigger. One nice thing is, when you check in for your shower, they take your name on an iPad, and they give you a little buzzer thing that you take to your seat. It works all the way throughout the lounge. Like, we were sitting on the far side of the lounge, and it still buzzed no problem. We went right up, and they give you a list of amenities that they can provide for you. For example, I didn't pack a razor or shaving cream, so I asked them if I could have some. They did. Be advised, it is the cheap razors, you know, the ones with, you know, twin blades. The first blade cuts you close, the second one chops your head off. So just be advised, I did nick myself a couple times shaving with that razor, but, you know, it was free. So what can I expect? Anyways, enjoy looking at the lounge. Oh, the lounge does have the trademark dim sum, or the noodle bar. So you got you got dim sum. You also have dan noodles. You have wonton soup. They do have a buffet where you could go and, you know, they had eggs and chicken sausage. I will never understand why so many of these airport lounges don't carry pork sausage. I get it for the Muslim population that doesn't like it, but you can have both. You can have them in separate parts, you know. Last I heard, Hong Kong was not a primarily Muslim community, so I don't know why you just have chicken sausage. But anyways, I'm rambling on right now. Here's the buffet section that I was talking about, though, that you can go into. It's pretty nice. We had just gotten fed on the airplane before we got off the plane, and we knew we were going to get fed when we got on our next flight, so we just kind of had a snack. And here's a quick look at the shower room. You can see it was very clean. I think they had somebody go in and obviously clean it in between every single person using it, but it was spacious, comfortable. There's a toilet in the shower room. They had the rainfall shower. They used Bamford amenities in there, so it was good. They had the shower nozzle, but they also had the rainfall, so you could use either one. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Feels great after a 15-hour flight to take a shower. Okay, so for today's flight, we were going Hong Kong to Bangkok for the final leg of our journey. It's a 2 hour and 30-minute flight. We were on an Airbus A321neo. Like I said, this was a change of plane for us. We didn't expect it. We were in seats 12A and C, so the back row. And there are 12 business class seats and then 190 economy in the A321neo. All right, so let's take a look at the seat. As I said, this plane was about 2 years old. The screen is really nice. It's like glossy. You had USB-A and USB-C chargers right there. Everything about the plane seats felt modern. Now, I'm going to give a caveat. That's the coat hook, which was a little stiff coming out. In fact, I couldn't get it out. These were not the most comfortable seats I've ever been in. First of all, that tray table is really low. Like, you basically have to hunch over to eat. And the seat, it doesn't have a complete lie flat mode, but it's got like this gravity mode thing where you're kind of down. Anyways, for a 2 hour flight, it was fine. I wouldn't want to be on a long haul. Here's a look at the menu. They were serving breakfast. Obviously, it was an 8:40 in the morning flight. My wife and I both opted for the dim sum selection since you're flying out of Hong Kong. You should get dim sum. And I got to say, it was really delicious. The sticky rice that was wrapped in the paper there was really good. This was like a muesli thing with blueberries. It was kind of tasteless, but the fruit was good. And then, of course, they had the ubiquitous water bottles that have no labels on them, so you don't know who bottled them, but the bottles are sealed, so maybe Cathay Pacific has their own brand of water. I just don't know. Anyways, the screen was highly glossy. It was nice. The IFE system, I noticed, had a few less movies than on the A350-1000, the long-haul flight. The blanket was okay. It came with a set of noise-canceling headphones that were average. Not as good as, like, Bose if you have those yourself, but the seat did, had lots of little pockets and cubbies. Here's a look at the on-screen map, World Explorer. You did not have a camera view on the A321, unlike the A350 where you had a front and top camera. So my overall take on the A321neo business class experience, I'll leave it the same as I did for my previous regional business class. I don't ever think for a 2-hour flight it's really worth upgrading, except for on Emirates from Bangkok to Hong Kong, because you got to do that at least once. Flying first class, it's amazing, and it's like $1,000 round trip per person. Anyways, most regionals are not really worth it. If you're flying in sequences to get to your final destination, then obviously, sure, enjoy it. It's a little bit nicer, a little roomier, a little comforter. I will say with Cathay Pacific, 2 out of our 4 flights had infants in business class, and I'm an airline brat. My mom was a flight attendant for United for 47 years, and I'm pretty confident that these were airline employees that had, were flying on passes up in business class. But if you're the type of person that doesn't like, crying kids or whatever in business class when you're paying that amount for a ticket, it's something to consider, because I did notice it was prevalent on Cathay Pacific. I still love the airline though, and I'd fly them again. Anyways, we'll see you in the next video.